you seen Star Wars?
Many years ago, a man named Colin Trevorrow was set to direct Star Wars Episode 9 until late in 2017, he was let go and replaced by the director of Episode 7 The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams. After Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker released, many fans wondered how different Colin's version of the film would have been, and it was added into another what-if scenario for the Star Wars fanbase. Well, in a recent interview, Colin shed more light on what went on with his departure from Lucasfilm in directing Episode 9 and reflected on his experience. In a conversation with Collider, Colin said, "We were in art and writing when I left Star Wars. It was a development thing. It was script development. I guess the lesson from it is, I've been very fortunate in the films that I've directed, the path that I wanted to follow, and the path that everyone involved wanted to follow was the same. It's totally possible for two people to see two totally different paths through the woods. That was just an experience that obviously you can imagine it can get to the point of being traumatic when there's something that you care about that much and you've invested that much in it. But that's one of the things that you accept when you take on any role in a film, especially when you become a storyteller. There's going to be heartbreaks, there's going to be crushing disappointments, and there's going to be victories, and hopefully they'll balance out in the end." I'll be honest, I'm surprised that he used the word traumatic when describing the situation, because to me that means it must have been pretty hurtful for him to lose the job, at least directing Star Wars Episode 9 in my eyes. But Colin seems to look at it in an extremely healthy way as well, and doesn't get too petty with his opinions on the situation and kind of spit fire against Lucasfilm, if you will. He does, however, confirm a lot of the reports saying that the reason Lucasfilm parted ways with Colin was over the script problems in his version of Episode 9, which was titled Duel of Fates. Awesome name, by the way. There's a lot of different things in Colin and his co-writer Derek Connolly's version of Episode 9, where Coruscant was featured heavily and was the main battleground for the First Order and Resistance. Finn and Rose, I think, had a lot of a larger role than what they had in Rise of Skywalker. Rey and Kylo Ren were meant to fight on the planet called Mortis, where I think both died, but Rey had a Harry Potter moment where she could choose if she wanted to live or die, while talking to a lot of the Jedi Masters like Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Luke, and the only one that wasn't a Jedi Master, the Chosen One himself, Anakin Skywalker. Truth be told, I'm somewhat surprised Lucasfilm and Colin parted ways due to the first draft of his Episode 9. It must have been a big creative difference between the two for them to end the working relationship a year and 9 months ahead of the release for the film. Remember, Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9 was originally meant to release in May of 2019, but after they let him go, it was delayed to December of 2019. What's also curious is why they did not either patch this up months before they let him go, or even a year before. Lucasfilm did a lot story-wise to cater towards Colin's version of Episode 9, at least in the Star Wars universe. In the Galaxy's Edge Star Wars theme park that Disney built, you can see Kylo Ren's TIE fighter. I don't really know what the name of it was. I think it was TIE Echelon or something. That was based off of Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9. And they also have not used the famed planet from the prequel trilogy, Coruscant, in any of the sequel films, or even I think the comics or the books, in any way, due to them planning on using that planet as the final battleground for the Resistance and the First Order, because that was in Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9. Lucasfilm has a tendency to hire directors and writers after they reach a certain status in the industry, normally when those directors and writers are at their peak in their career. My examples are a few of the directors that we've seen over the past 5 to 10 years for Star Wars. Gareth Edwards was the original director for Rogue One, and he got the job after his big Godzilla movie came out. Phil Lord and Chris Miller got the Solo spin-off film after they made Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street. Josh Trank was going to make a Boba Fett spin-off film after his big hit Chronicle, but lost the gig due to the Fantastic Four debacle. And Colin Trevorrow was the original director for Episode 9 after his huge hit Jurassic World, and ironically lost the gig after his flop Book of Henry. The point I'm trying to make here is Lucasfilm seems to use the director's track record as an indication on if they want to keep them or leave them. Both Josh Trank and Colin Trevorrow left Lucasfilm after they had major failures with their other films, despite having successful movies prior to those films being released. Personally, I would really like to know what Lucasfilm didn't like about Colin's first draft of the film. If anything, I feel like the Duel of Fates was a better fit ending that felt more like Star Wars than Rise of Skywalker. Even the name, Duel of Fates, is really unique and interesting. Colin's film felt like a proper finale for the sequel trilogy, and tied in both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, whereas The Rise of Skywalker really just felt like a sequel to The Force Awakens and largely ignored what happened in The Last Jedi. One of the best things that we have, though, about Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9, The Duel of Fates, is that we have a lot of artwork from the film and the first draft of it, too. So it seems like since he said they only got to the art and script phase, we actually likely have seen everything that was planned or made for the film, which is a nice thing for Star Wars fans to have because we can read the script and judge the story for ourselves as well. I doubt we'll ever see Colin Trevorrow direct a Star Wars film, but at least we get to know more about that what-if scenario than we normally would with other directors. Do you think Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9 was the one we should have gone with, or do you think Rise of Skywalker was the best we possibly could have gotten? Comment below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, because it does help out the channel. I'm Star Wars Only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you, always.